The Unplanned Road Trip, Part 3. So we arrived in Durango on June 20th after several hours' drive from Utah. And we arrived at our cabin. And one of the first things the kids did, of course, was enjoy the hot tub. And there's the car that we rented. By the way, that wasn't supposed to be it, but that we were offered an upgrade, and of course, we took it. But it turned out perfectly because it was just the right size for all of our crap that we brought, and then the four of us. This was heading into Durango. This is the drive up to the cabin, and there it is. Kind of more of a house than a cabin, but hey. It was inside. Katie and Lewis took the loft. There was also another bedroom upstairs. And then Sean and I took the downstairs bedroom. Then there was a basement that also had another bedroom, but we ended up not using that one. This is near the cabin. A short walk. And one of our first stops was this place called Honeyville, which was a bourbon distillery as well as a honey farm. But it was really cool, and their products were amazing. They had jams and jellies and sauces, and of course, whiskey, all derived from honey. There's Lewis. Happy guy. And now we're in Durango, just walking around, checking out some of the shops. That was one of my favorite shops, Moose on the Loose, it was called. It's where we did most of our shopping. Here's my handsome dude. And yes, in light of COVID, we're supposed to be masked up. That, by the way, was one of my favorite purchases on the whole trip. That's my Durango hat. This is the Animas River. We took a walk down on the edge of the river. There's a river walk. You can go down to the river, but it's cold. That's snow melt. Happy me, finding my joy. There's some people out there on some kind of kayak canoe thing. Just so pretty. So clean and peaceful. Lewis loved it. Got to check out that water. And on our way back, we saw a little flock of wild turkeys close to the cabin. And that was our first day. Now, our second day in Colorado was spent in the car a lot and doing some hiking. And we drove down the San Juan Byway, which took us to Telluride, Colorado. And we did this on the 21st of June. So we started out with breakfast, and that Lewis decided he was going to cook for us. And let me just tell you, the guy can cook. We had pancakes and eggs and bacon, and I don't know what all, but it was good. Okay, this was in the car on the San Juan Byway, which is a scenic route. The whole thing can take you about, I don't know how long it is, but it's a really long way. But we didn't do all of it. We just went up to Telluride. There's some spectacular views sitting from the back seat of the car. And Sean's driving. You got to snap fast. This is an image I really, really like. Can anybody say wow? There's something about Colorado that just gets in your blood, or at least it got in mine. And I lived there for about 5 years when I was a little kid. We left when I was 12. And I think I went back once when I was 15, 16, something like that. And after that, it was probably a good 20 years before I went back again. But I love it. And I seem to have shared that love with Sean because we're really looking at trying to retire somewhere in Colorado that we can afford, 2 teachers on teacher retirement income. But the weather was spectacular. It was just the right warmth. The air was dry. There was a nice breeze. Just could not ask for more perfect. And one stop we made was at a place called Molas Pass. The elevation, 10,800 and some odd feet. It truly is gorgeous. Young guns heading to the top so they can get some pictures. I mean, really, this was like Sweden. It's beautiful. Not that I know, I've never been to Sweden. A little bit of history. They call it a legacy for future generations. Yeah, we need to keep it that way. And oh, the air is so clean and so dry. And there's a panoramic view. Oh, Lewis is on a trail. Sean's checking his phone, probably looking at pictures. That was an accidental image, but I kind of liked it because I like the shadow. That's me. More panorama. And I just love this poem. What does wilderness mean to you? A place of solitude, a home for the wild animals, a place where people are visitors, a place where the water flows freely, a place in your heart that reminds you of home, a legacy for future generations. And it's all the above. My happy dude. 10,899 feet. Yeah. And we're back in the car. We're headed under a tunnel that was designed to protect the road from rock slides. Kind of ingenious. And this is Madrid. a quaint little town we drove through. Or no, maybe this is Silverton. Either way, we didn't stop. Yeah, we didn't stop. We just kept going. Sarah was able to join us on our trip on Monday, but she had school. So this is a picture. Actually, this is from Sandia Mountains in Albuquerque. Dad and Kelly had picked her up from the airport on Sunday, so they had some time on Sunday to do a little touring, and he took her up to the Sandia Mountains. So this is Sarah, and of course, what does she see up there in the mountains? She seems to be a pug magnet. This is not our pug. This is another one, but she's awfully cute. Sarah's playing. This is back in the car, and this is on the way up to Telluride on the San Juan Byway. And when we got up to San Juan, we found a trail. Now, this trail was about a 2.5 mile trail. It took you up to a top where you could see some beautiful waterfalls. Unfortunately, it's all uphill all the way up. And even with my lovely walking stick, I made it about half a mile. And I said, I'm done. Sean and the kids kept on going. So I just stopped to take some pictures. And that's the town of Telluride. It's really pretty, but I bet it's even more beautiful in the wintertime when it's snow covered and you have all the skiers in town. It's a huge ski resort. There's Telluride. Very Western style. There you see my stick leaning against the car. So I'm waiting for the rest of the family to get back from the hike. And that's a place where I sat and waited for a little bit. And that was the end of day 2 in Colorado, which is part 3 of our unplanned road trip.